Sophie Cunningham doesn't just play basketball, she crashes through it. With a swagger that challenges norms and a game that thrives on grit, she is one of the most compelling athletes of her generation. She's the kind of player who doesn't just show up, she sets the tone. For the M-Star Hub audience, her story isn't just about stats or victories. It's about heart, hustle, and the fight to be heard and respected in a league still carving its place in the mainstream. Sophie is the kind of personality that breaks through not because she conforms, but because she refuses to. Born on August 16, 1996, in Columbia, Missouri, Sophie grew up in the heartland, surrounded by a culture that valued toughness, work ethic, and authenticity. Even as a child, she had a different fire. She wasn't interested in blending in. Whether it was soccer, softball, or basketball, she approached competition with an unmatched drive. But it was basketball that offered her the perfect storm, a stage big enough for her skill, her voice, and her edge. At Rockbridge High School, she quickly rose to prominence, winning state titles and becoming a hometown hero. But even then, she was more than just a scorer or a star. She was a leader, a trash talker, a player with a motor that didn't stop until the final whistle. That intensity earned her a spot at the University of Missouri, where she would leave an indelible mark. Choosing to stay close to home wasn't just a sentimental decision, it was a challenge. She wanted to build something where she came from. And she did. At Mizzou, Sophie became a face of the program, rewriting records while never losing the spark that made her magnetic. She didn't shy away from the spotlight. She embraced it. Every shot, every scuffle, every roar of the crowd was part of her theater. She finished her college career as one of the most decorated players in Missouri history, but more importantly, as one of the most memorable. Her passion was contagious. Her energy unavoidable. Her belief in herself unshakable. Her time at Missouri also opened her up to the reality of being a female athlete in a world that still doesn't treat women's sports with the same reverence. Sophie felt it every time she was dismissed as too emotional or too aggressive. But rather than suppress those aspects of herself, she leaned in. She learned how to balance the fire with focus. Her interviews, just like her play, carried the weight of someone who was trying not just to play the game but change it. She spoke about the need for better coverage, better support, and better respect for women athletes, and she did it with the kind of candor that made people take notice. In 2019, the Phoenix Mercury selected her in the first round of the WNBA draft. There were questions about whether her style would fit in the league. But Sophie wasn't there to fit in. She was there to compete. Her rookie year wasn't about flash. It was about earning trust. She played defense. She made smart plays. And when she had the green light, she hit the shot. Bit by bit, she carved out a place for herself, not by changing who she was, but by leaning harder into it. She's become known across the WNBA not just for her scoring ability, but for her fearless approach. She'll chirp at opponents. She'll dive on the floor. She'll swing momentum with a corner three, or with a stare down that says, "I'm not going anywhere." She has become Phoenix's emotional core, a culture driver in a league where team chemistry and toughness still separate good teams from great ones. What sets Sophie apart is that she doesn't apologize for who she is. She knows her edge can ruffle feathers. She knows that being vocal, intense, and aggressive might not be everyone's cup of tea. But that's never stopped her. And in that courage to be unapologetically herself, she's found a deeper connection with fans. People don't just watch Sophie, they root for her. Because she plays like every second matters. Because she wears her heart on her sleeve. Because she reminds us that not all greatness is quiet. Off the court, Sophie has become more than an athlete. She's an advocate, a voice for women's sports, and a personality who brings the same fire to interviews, social media, and community events as she does to tip-off. She's not trying to be perfect. She's trying to be real. And in a media landscape where image is everything, that honesty has made her a standout. She's also stepped into roles that go beyond basketball. Whether it's mentoring young athletes, partnering with brands that reflect her values, or standing up for causes that matter, Sophie is building a legacy that transcends sport. Her social media following isn't massive because she plays it safe, it's loyal because she speaks her mind. She engages with fans, shows behind-the-scenes moments, and offers glimpses into the reality of being a WNBA player. Travel delays, back-to-backs, training days, and all. She doesn't just perform, she connects. In recent seasons, her role in Phoenix has only grown. Whether coming off the bench or starting, Sophie delivers impact minutes. Her shooting has improved, her playmaking has sharpened, and her defense has become even more suffocating. She thrives in big moments. She embraces the physicality, the chaos, and the responsibility. And through it all, she never lets up. She's become a tone-setter for the Mercury, a franchise that has always valued toughness, spirit, and players who rise when the moment demands it. There's something old-school about Sophie Cunningham. She'd fit right into the rough-and-tumble WNBA of the early 2000s, yet she's firmly a modern athlete. She embraces data, film study, and nutrition. She trains year-round. She has goals that go beyond one season. She wants to win championships, yes, but also help elevate the entire women's game. She wants better arenas, better pay, better treatment. And she's not afraid to put her name behind those demands. Her presence in overseas leagues during the off-season has further honed her game. Competing internationally, she's faced different styles, faster paces, and challenging environments, all of which have added layers to her skill set. The WNBA benefits from players like Sophie, who never stop evolving. She takes her lumps, learns, and comes back stronger. Every season, there's a new wrinkle in her game. A new weapon. A new lesson turned into muscle memory. For the M-Star Hub audience, Sophie Cunningham is a reminder that legacy isn't just built on trophies. It's built on tenacity, on moments that shift momentum, on the will to keep fighting even when no one is watching. She's the kind of athlete who might never be the biggest name on the marquee but will always be the most remembered when the lights go out. Sophie Cunningham is proof that fire can't be faked and passion can't be taught. It has to be lived. She lives it in every possession, every press conference, every off-season training day. She is the embodiment of the grind, the kind of player whose story can only be understood by watching the full arc, not just the highlights. And in doing so, she offers something rare, a full, unapologetic, vivid look at what it means to chase excellence on your own terms. So if you believe in toughness over flash, if you've ever seen someone will their way into greatness, if you think swagger belongs in every arena, then don't let this tribute end here. Like this to honor the real ones. Share with someone who brings fire to everything they do. Subscribe to M-Star Hub for more athletes who break the mold. Until next time, play like every possession matters, speak like the world's listening, and never forget. Some players follow the script. Sophie Cunningham is the script.